Map to Grow Presence. 8 signs you are a pessimistic person. Before starting the video, if you are new here, please subscribe Map to Grow and don't forget to turn on the bell icon. A pessimist is someone who believes that the worst will always happen. They are negative and they see the glass as half empty. Pessimism can be helpful in some situations, but it can also hold you back in life. If you're constantly seeing the negative side of things, it's time to make a change. Pessimism can be caused by a number of factors, including past experiences, genetics, and personality type. It can also be brought on by stressful life events or periods of prolonged negativity. Whatever the cause, pessimism can have a serious impact on someone's life. It can make them withdrawn and anxious, and can even lead to depression. Not sure if you're a pessimist? Here are 8 signs that you may be one. Number 1. You always see the negative in every situation. Pessimistic people see negative in every situation. For example, if something bad happens, they will think that it is the worst possible outcome and that it will never get better. They often expect things to go wrong and are always ready for the worst. This can be very frustrating for those around them, as they may seem to be always looking on the dark side of things. Number 2. You're never satisfied. If you're never satisfied, it's likely because you have a pessimistic outlook on life. You may see the glass as half empty rather than half full. Pessimistic individuals can never be content with anything since they always expect the worst to happen. This way of thinking leads to constant disappointment, since reality often falls short of their negative expectations. Even when good things occur, pessimists will find a way to focus on the negatives and see them as temporary or insignificant. This type of person is usually unhappy and disillusioned with life. It takes a lot to please them and they are often quick to criticize. Number 3. You don't trust people. Pessimists have a hard time trusting people for several reasons. For one, they tend to see the worst in people and assume that everyone is out to hurt them or take advantage of them. This can make it difficult to open up to others and let them into their lives. Additionally, pessimists often believe that they are not worthy of love or connection and that other people will eventually realize this and reject them. This fear of rejection can also lead to difficulty trusting others. Finally, pessimists may have had bad experiences in the past where they were betrayed or hurt by someone they trusted, making it harder for them to trust anyone again. While it can be difficult for pessimists to trust others, there are ways to work on building trustworthiness, such as openly sharing your feelings and thoughts with others, being reliable and consistent in your words and actions, and demonstrating care and concern for others. Number 4. You dwell on your mistakes. When you're a pessimist, you tend to dwell on your mistakes. You beat yourself up over things that went wrong, and you have a hard time moving on. This can lead to feelings of inadequacy and low self-esteem. It can also make it difficult to take risks or try new things because you're afraid of making another mistake. If you're always dwelling on your mistakes, it's time to change your outlook. Start by forgiving yourself for what went wrong. Then, focus on the positive aspects of your life and the good things that have happened to you. When you start seeing the glass as half full instead of half empty, you'll be on your way to a more optimistic outlook. Number 5. You're constantly worrying. If you're a pessimist, you're probably used to feeling like you're constantly worrying. You might worry about things that have already happened or things that could happen in the future. It can feel like you're never able to relax and enjoy life because you're always worried about something. Pessimism can be a tough habit to break, but it's important to try. Constantly worrying is not healthy for your mind or body, and it can make it hard to enjoy life. If you think you might be a pessimist, there are a few things you can do to try and change your outlook. Some people find that journaling helps them identify their worries and work through them in a more constructive way. Spending time with optimistic people can help rub off on you and improve your own outlook on life. Number 6. You're always comparing yourself to others. It's only natural to compare yourself to others. After all, we're constantly bombarded with images and stories of other people's lives through social media and the news, and it can be easy to fall into the trap of thinking that everyone else has it better than you. However, if you find yourself constantly comparing yourself to others and feeling like you're falling short, it could be a sign that you're a pessimist. Comparing yourself to others is a surefire recipe for dissatisfaction. Whether you're coming up short in the comparison or feeling superior, it's a lose-lose proposition. Either way, you're focused on what someone else has that you don't have, or vice versa, and chances are good that the person you're comparing yourself to is doing the same thing, whether it's with you or someone else. It's a never-ending cycle of looking outside yourself for validation and self-worth. The problem with comparing yourself to others is that it sets an unrealistic standard. No one is perfect, yet we often compare ourselves to those who seem to have it all together. We think they must be happy and fulfilled because they have what we want. But appearances can be deceiving. Just because someone has material possessions or success doesn't mean they're happy. In fact, they may be quite unhappy and disillusioned beneath the surface. Number 7. You're oversensitive. Pessimism makes you oversensitive because it causes you to focus on the negative aspects of a situation and ignore the positive ones. This can lead you to feel as though you are constantly under attack or that things are never going to get better. As a result, you may start to second-guess yourself a lot and become very defensive when anyone criticizes you. You may also find yourself becoming more withdrawn and isolate yourself from others. Number 8. You have imposter syndrome. Do you ever feel like you're not good enough, no matter how hard you try? Do you find yourself doubting your abilities and second-guessing your decisions? If so, you may be suffering from imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome is a psychological phenomenon in which people doubt their accomplishments and feel like they are frauds. Despite evidence to the contrary, people with imposter syndrome believe that they are not competent and that they have only been successful due to luck or deceiving others into thinking they are more capable than they actually are. If you suffer from imposter syndrome, you may be your own worst critic. You may find it difficult to accept compliments and always feel like you have to prove yourself. You may also avoid taking risks for fear of being exposed as a fraud. While imposter syndrome can be debilitating, there are ways to overcome it. Recognizing the signs. Once you know what you're up against, you can start to challenge your negative thoughts and build self-confidence. With time and effort, you can learn to silence your inner critic and achieve success on your own terms. A pessimistic person sees the glass as half empty, but that doesn't mean they're necessarily unhappy. In fact, some research suggests that pessimism may have its benefits. If you find yourself agreeing with most of the signs on this list, then it's likely that you are a pessimist. If you found this video helpful, please like and share it with your friends. And don't forget to subscribe Map to Grow for more videos.